He missed. Girly girl.
Hello, happy Thanksgiving.
Hi.
2005.
Happy Thanksgiving.
What you doing?
Polishing silverware.
Are you polishing or polishing?
Polishing.
Yeah.
This
Come
is
it's spelled the
Sarah's
same.
job every year, and this used to be my job every year when I was Sarah's age. Polish the silver. The turkey platter right here. See? Oh, that's a little too close. Hi.
Wow. You're way too close.
Happy Thanksgiving. I'm just doing the potatoes right now.
Are they potatoes or potatoes?
You call them potatoes, I call them potatoes.
You spell it with an E at the end?
No, definitely not.
And here's Mom before a shower. Oh my God! What a trooper.
How are you looking?
Yeah, you do it right away. 1, 2, 3.
But she doesn't read notes, Dad. The pages me already.
Mmm.
See, I put dogs. They have up there. I don't know that one is there.
Oh, you put dogs.
Give us a C.
She was she had
Look at my book.
Yeah, I gotta get the book out.
Butt shot.
he got better. That's good. Here's mine.
Yes, just
Oh,
roll the
hi,
tail.
I'm sorry. This is where
You want me to pay some attention to you?
They had the rope for
Did you
me.
sneeze?
That's me.
Because I'm tight.
Trying to get up.
No, that's how he gets your thing.
Yeah. What did I? Oh, it's one of her friends
I
who went
don't have
over.
pictures.
And they have,
No.
yeah, a couple of, I think this breed of dog. And, dog, he's,
We'll be in candid camera.
she found she doesn't know.
And if the season doesn't work before we got there.
That's a nice little
He
case.
ups the, ante a little bit, yeah.
But he starts with a really low one.
That happened.
You got the little.
Is that yours? Okay, go ahead. No, maybe not.
Oh, it is his. Charlie, you didn't eat it? I gave it to you.
He's got that little underbite. Overbite, or under overbite or something.
You saw the fish? Cutthroat trout.
Yeah.
It's a trout. It's a trout. It's a kind of trout.
You know, it's getting a little.
30
And you
years old
didn't
and
see
you got your
mine.
little apartment.
Because I had pictures.
How about that? Salute.
I
When do
had
you move
pictures
in?
of the trout.
Tomorrow?
Tomorrow. Yep, tomorrow and Saturday is we're doing the moving.
Yeah.
Yep.
We are doing
Yes, me and Mom.
good. Oh, good old mom. Good old
Well,
mom.
Miss
Well, I
Carrie
have-
Lynn was supposed to, that's me taking a picture of him. Carrie Lynn was supposed to do it, but she couldn't get the time off from work.
That's all right.
Well, I have other people too.
Oh, I'm sure you have.
Yeah. I have 1 tomorrow and then 3 on Saturday. So we won't
Good
really.
No
crew.
problem. No problem.
Exactly.
And you always give it a month.
No, that's true too.
I did this guy was giving out these flyers at work. It said barbecue at Gordon's, you know, it said beer and da 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 da. All this. And at the very bottom it said moving party.
Nice. Nice.
Good way to do it.
Mom, it's not in the book.
The notes, see?
Yeah.
Play a song, Sarah.
It's not
Any
there.
song.
It's really, slow down, slow down, slow down. See?
Get it all wet.
That's not
Drop
it.
in front
Well,
of
what-
you, and then
And
it'll
there's
get
2
the dirt
different
off.
C's.
You want
No,
to
no.
throw it.
Yes, there
Then
is.
she'd get
There's
her
2 different
mouth on it and be
C's?
like,
Yes.
What do you
love
mean
it,
by that?
honey, but
There's 2 C's for different notes, and that's what the one.
Well, play that one then.
oh yeah, this pink.
Well, you understand music a lot more than I do. I don't understand
It
why
must
there's
be.
more than
She
one.
knows I can edit
There's more
it
than
out.
one. There is.
I can edit it out.
There's 2, but
Pink,
that's
purple.
Well, that's nice. Yeah, that's true.
No, it's pink.
Yeah. Oh, is he taking
this.
Thinking
That
movies.
C's
oh, movies
same.
now? Oh, I
That's
see.
the
Oh,
This is
Tell us a story, Bubba.
oh, that's all right.
Nah.
That's all right.
Tell us a story. Oh, did I get? I'm so sorry. I'm sorry. Where are
You
you?
got a lot of subjects to include in one big.
Just.
Did you bring that magazine with the questions? You did. Okay.
Well, I've got
We'll
the
do
same
that
one.
later. We'll do it.
I've got the same magazine.
What's this?
That was it.
Well, I have
the
to defend myself. I was a single parent. I worked hard, and I
And she
granted
slept hard.
I
Probably
slept.
close.
That worked to our advantage.
Yeah.
Oh,
yes. Especially with an old house, we sort of like we were like baffled some of the times that
I was.
you didn't. Yeah, exactly.
I can remember
Kind of blurry. Is
nights,
that gonna be alright?
Saturday nights,
should be okay.
being a single parent. It would be 8:30, and I would be.
He's
in
not very good
bed.
videoing.
And I would get slide into bed like, thank God I'm in bed. And I'd be saying,
These two are good.
Yeah, so are we.
and I'd be like, I am a single parent, and I should be out partying. And I would fall asleep.
Segue to these two.
Yeah.
And we were just fulfilling your duties. There's a here.
They were taking over where you were.
So you were living her life, you know.
Me. Exactly. They were such good children that they were going out.
Everyone
for
thought
me.
that, right?
Oh yeah.
How many? Which one was this?
I
The
don't
skylight.
bed.
Many.
Well,
I do remember
no, the
when
skylight,
I was
Actually,
a
only a
kid.
couple.
the skylight wasn't that many because like it took me not that long to figure out that the back door was just well and there was no acrobatics going on.
Okay. Excuse me,
Floor.
for the sake of my ignorance, can you at least explain
The skylight.
the skylight?
I gotta hear that.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
These, I
We
had
had
the
four of them. She put
skylights
skylights.
put in their bedroom because
they were-
there was no window.
Which is an attic, so we don't have tall ceiling.
Right.
Yeah,
The
okay.
ceiling would go
And the
down
ceiling
like this.
goes
It was
down
only
like
5
this.
foot
Yeah.
at the smallest
Yeah,
part.
right.
And then like maybe 3 feet onto the ceiling started the skylight that opened. They had
Okay.
they
And
were
then
like
So it
windows.
opened about this
I
much.
know because I've done this. That you go out on the roof and then you go down to the garage roof and then there's a tree and you just go down the tree.
Screw the tree.
Just jump.
All we did is we'd go over to the living room roof
And jump
and
on
jump
it.
off onto the front lawn.
Either
Yeah,
that.
But how do you get?
We grew up in the same house.
But how do you get
Either
back?
down.
Well, here's
Because
the
you
best
could have
part.
gotten hurt that way. The treeways.
No, hold on.
Wait.
Hold on, wait,
But they took gymnastics.
Wait,
They took.
Emily.
During the winter, you have tracks.
No, the best part was the way to get back up
Yeah.
was to go down the entryway roof,
Yeah.
which led right. We didn't have to do a tree. We just
Just got up in front of the front garden in the kitchen.
yeah, you hiked up the garden.
Oh, okay.
We walked
that
on the
one,
railroad
yeah.
tracks. It was a step. She made it.
Yeah, just don't happen. Just
She
don't
did the
happen.
landscape.
And then the windows, you
And
just
the
step
same
on the windowsill and then hike yourself up.
And I mean, she was
But they
short.
get it back in
And
there.
She was
that-
short,
This was
not you
easy for
doing.
me.
That window,
I was like,
though.
oh, this is like a step.
That window used to be the one I'd go out. Because that wasn't where the laundry was when I was a kid. That
Oh,
was
that
my
was-
bedroom.
So we
That
had
was
an
my
we had an
bedroom
extra. We
window.
had more interesting because we had an extra.
You
level
had
to
an
come
extra
down.
level. I went up.
But then how'd you get back in? You just climbed?
They went through the in front of the kitchen.
Look
and
at-
up.
climbed
Now
up
she's
and
going
went back
after
into the skylight.
Mom.
Or we did. You
going after
eventually
that
just
dog
opened the
because
front door.
You just like
I was like,
you just realize that you know what, she's
remember-
not gonna wake up for anything. I'll just come to the
I
front
Until the
door.
cops called.
one time,
That's another
you know the up store, the entry. She's getting all of it. The entry.
Riley's going
Riley.
Hey you guys.
Missy's like, that's my.
I know. Don't tear apart.
Oh, forget it. He gets
So you all
violent.
use the skylight.
No, I didn't.
No, the skylights
I know the
weren't
skylights
there.
weren't there.
Back in her day, they weren't there.
They weren't
Oh.
there. I had the
She had to use
skylight.
another
Way back when.
I remodeled their bedroom.
So the skylight is that of you.
With an escape route, little did you know.
Yeah, little did you know you were building the escape route.
I was tired.
Oh,
She's
God.
like, yeah, put some light in here.
Well,
so
there
dark.
was on one side.
Yeah.
So dark.
It was
skylight.
well on one side.
It's
I
so
took
hot
all the
during the
windows
winter.
out.
Yeah.
I took all the windows out on one
Maddie?
side, and I put in
No,
better
no,
windows
Teddy.
on the opposite
was
side.
sitting at
to
my
the room.
bed.
2 windows
Like standing
on one
like-
side, and the whole rest of the room
Did you get his
was.
name?
It was just one three.
Oh.
Yeah.
Three
How old were you?
Yeah.
High school.
And the whole rest of the thing
Actually, the
was
best
just
part
walls.
was when we were
So
when I was
I put
16.
skylights
I had my dad's
Get
cigar.
in some fresh
And
air.
so we
Yeah.
get out of the house
This is
first,
the best part.
and
Good
then we
idea.
roll the car
Because
down
we
the
live on
street.
the hill. Because we live on the hill.
And park
The car down the street, and the best part was getting back though.
Yeah, it was so
You
easy
had
because
to
you go
drive-
around the other way.
He drove past the house, made a U-turn, and rolled
In the
back into the
Batmobile.
Ah,
In the
that's
Batmobile.
Oh, we
How many
got
times
this. This
did
is
you
gold.
do this?
Yeah.
Get an extra 10 grand.
Bad
Or what are you talking about?
creation.
That worked a couple of times.
It's already out in the
Just a
open
couple
now,
of times.
so.
Is that retirement money?
Mom,
Yeah.
Oh, I'll give you the good ones. The
Oh.
good ones they
Mom,
did.
I put my water in here.
When she was the part of the, what did they call you?
She who? Kim?
Kim. Oh, Kim. This one did nothing. She
Until we
never
found
got-
empty
got away
bottles
with
of
it.
alcohol.
Oh yeah! Check this out. Kim and I are cleaning out
collecting
the
empties,
closet in the
A year or
bedroom
two ago.
a year or two ago, and we're finding these empty rum bottles
No, the best part was is Carrie used to
in
love.
the shoe boxes.
Carrie used to love to collect her shoe boxes. She kept her shoes in every
Oh,
in,
yeah,
in their
it was-
original shoe boxes.
She always did. It was
That was the ploy, and that.
Exactly. Well, then I'm like, oh, I wonder what shoes she has. So I'm opening the box. I'm like, that's our shoes. I'm like, does she have a pair?
Oh,
We got a
my
rum and a
wife.
vodka.
See, my dad, he knew the level.
John Morgan.
So I had to fill it up with water.
Water, yeah.
to bring it back to the right level.
Well, and then the worst part was that Kim was the one that found the bottles, and she's like, "Hey, Mom!" She calls me up. What are these? Guess what? I'm like, "Hey, I got no warning about this. You're supposed to be on my side."
Yeah. I was like, this rocks. Everything's a go, kiddo, from our high school years after we're out of the house.
That was college.
Oh.
Well, you know,
Would you bring them home
this
just
is
the
the
store?
generation. But we had our generations also.
That's right.
And I was at one time a teenager.
No.
And I remember, because we lived, nobody quite remembers, but Charmwood Road, it was
Yeah, Charmwood Road.
in Somerville, and it was a, whatnot, middle class area. But it was a two-family house. Now,
Was it? I remember. Was it where we went when we were kids?
Yeah.
yeah,
That's where the
yeah.
Christmas.
Now,
Yeah.
every summer, my parents, along with my aunt, would go to the Cape, now Rochester Avenue. Okay, so I was ostensibly working. I was actually working. John Hancock, very first few years. But I had a swinging girlfriend. Now the idea is we had two things.
This wasn't Nana, though.
No. Way before Nana. No.
About the
That's
same
what I had.
swing? Are we talking?
Yeah, I know.
Like on a tree.
Generational gap
The
that we're
swing-
talking
a
about.
swing.
I hope it's a different.
Yeah, it's a different kind of
talking about
swing.
here?
No.
Yeah.
Is it the swing dancing?
So
Yeah,
That's it. Yeah.
So
Go
anyway,
on.
Let him go.
Anyway, this is during the summer, and of course, during the summer, everyone sits out on the veranda, neighbors all around, whatnot.
That's a
And
port.
yet here was an open,
No air conditioning.
Here was an empty house, my home. They were down the Cape, I was here,
trouble.
and how do we get ourselves down without disturbing and making a real scandal of the neighborhood? So I said, okay, we're upstairs, the hall. I put a little string around the hall light, and I threaded it. This is during the morning. Previous one, I string it down through the letterbox, and I put a little match on it to hold it. So then we'd come down around 7 or 8 o'clock at night, and innocent, and I'd ring the bell, forgot the key, I'd ring the bell, then I'll pull the matchstick, and the light goes on in the hallway as, see, someone's home, they'll let them in the hallway, and they buzz me in, and we're up. So we've covered the obvious, that's real,
It wasn't breaking and entering at that point.
Yeah, no.
No, but it quieted the neighbors.
Yeah, that's the whole thing, because we had a very costly neighbor.
So you got home at 7 o'clock at night and you had the house all to yourself.
Yeah.
I suppose, and a swinging girlfriend, and you made her a fabulous dinner, right?
Absolutely, it was terrific.
Yeah.
Boy, did we ever eat.
She hit me. I'm like, how do you think I She's embarrassed. She was thinking it too.
Thank God you're not driving.
Took a while to get around the table.
You can edit this, right?
No, it's not worth it.
No, he's pretty wild guy.
Tell us another story.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I think that topped any of my stories. But the idea, like committing a bank robbery in the daylight.
Yeah.
And getting away with it. And then, of course, as we went out, we had to say goodbye, 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 and I pulled the string again, the lights would get out, and it was, fine, and we'd say, bye-bye, and this would be around 10 o'clock at night.
But you
And-
didn't live there.
Yeah.
Oh, you lived there.
Oh, yeah, no, I was only about 18 years old.
Damn.
So then
3
you had to
hours
go
for
back
dinner
in again.
and
7 to 10.
Because that's where you
Yeah.
But that was later.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
That's
but,
it.
it's
But
like...
that was different.
Bye.
I brought her in, see the
No
family.
shower.
2 hours later came out, took her home, and then went out on my own. That was easy.
Can you make at
And
least
if
he
these
has
things
time
the
for
neighbors actually
But the idea is to get the gal
at least time for supper?
with all the neighbors in it. All the neighbors in it. I could get her in
Yeah,
anytime.
outside.
On the floor. The neighbors
way
were
home.
all
On the way home.
And
Yeah, wait a minute.
Okay.
Here you go.
All right.
Cigarettes and matches.
How close
Right, I
how
got
close
10
were
o'clock.
you?
Let's go. Come on.
I got another appointment at 10:15. You
Wow. Wow. So I guess it's generational.
well, I think it's
runs in
interesting.
it.
I think it's more instinct too.
I think it's human nature. It's nothing to do with generation.
Yeah.
Each one has a different technique. Each generation has a different.
Every generation has their own technique. Yeah.
Have to be creative. Determined. Tenacious.
Tenacity. That's what it's all about.
Ah, yes.
You gotta have a goal.
Oh, yeah. Right.
And a plan.
Sometimes it's more fun making it up as you go.
On the fly?
I like the one with Carrie. She and her girlfriends. They were
We were on the roll, man.
freshmen, or we were in junior high. I don't know, but they decided there was this
Oh, this is you.
upperclassmen
Oh, that was freshman.
party
That was a freshman year.
that they just should be at.
All the girls?
Yes.
Sure.
Well, we'll get to that.
I went to the party.
Yeah, we'll get to that.
So did I.
So,
Is this
Was
when
this
the
at 9
is
o'clock on a
this
Saturday
when the
night?
police were
It
called
was actually.
in the jail?
no, that was
no,
another
that was me.
story.
Oh.
So,
Used to
Carrie
learn to- you know,
and
Brooke Lynch
3
is
of her other
boring.
girlfriends
Come make your own fun.
cooked up this scheme
Well, they were in such a
where
small
each was
town.
staying over at the other's house for
Yeah.
pajama party.
Oh, yeah.
So that was
That's an oldie.
okay.
That's an oldie.
Yeah,
So-
that's
It
all
is.
right.
It is.
Yeah.
But it
so
does
they-
work on occasion.
Yeah,
Only
they
on
all.
occasion.
Every
But we
10
got
years.
busted.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
because what happened is
Hour.
one of the girls
Her mother
told
wanted-
her mother.
No, one of the girls' mother called another mother saying that she wanted her to come home early.
Oh, that was me.
No, Brenda's mom called Tia's mom
Oh,
because she wanted her to come home early, and
Oh,
Tia's mom was like, Brenda's not here.
Oh.
And so Brenda's mom said, yes, she is. She's there with Carrie. And
so
Tia's
then
mom went
Carrie's
over.
mother got
Oh,
called,
boy. That will
and
screw
Carrie's
things up.
mother said, "No, they're at Tia's house." And I said they were all staying over there. And no, because I've already talked to Tia. They're not staying over
Oh.
Cover's blown.
there.
Cover's
The problem is none of
blown.
the mothers
So,
talked before all this.
no.
That's after the fact.
So this
We were
was in the
junior-
morning.
We were in
So the
freshmen
parents were a
at that
little
point.
slow this
Yeah.
time around.
So then
Yeah.
what had happened
So you gotta
actually
remember all these
is
tricks
they,
here, so-
I think the
Sarah.
only one who actually went to the party was Carrie Wood.
No, Brenda went too.
Okay, but she happened
was
to be
apologizing.
smart enough to somehow go home.
No, we
No?
left at the same time.
Oh, all right.
6
And
o'clock in the
then
morning.
Miss Strong, no, it was later than that, because Miss Strong here goes to the
nothing
party Go no, yeah. I'll tell you what you did wrong.
I didn't.
Were you in
She
junior high at the
goes to
time?
the party.
Were you at
says,
junior high at the time?
No,
No,
I
no,
know. I'm 2
no,
years
no.
older than her.
Oh,
No,
sorry.
I was allowed
She
to
could-
drive.
You were allowed
she
to.
could
with
go
my
to the party,
boyfriend,
but
and
she
I-
goes to the
that was
party
clear.
with her boyfriend. Says, "This is no place
We're-
I want to be."
we're going to you
Hi,
next.
Carrie, I'm
I've got
here.
no stories.
And
I'm
kids are
boring.
there.
You lucked out with me. That's all I can say. I'm
So-
boring.
In around 9 or 10 o'clock in the morning, when I get this phone call and I find that I don't know where my daughter is,
That's
It
what
was
I
definitely
thought.
earlier than that.
That's what I thought too.
well, I don't know, but
It
Whatever.
was
I start getting hysterical because I don't know where my daughter is, and Kim's sitting there like, oh shit, I know where she is. What do I do? Do I rat on my sister, or do I
Where's
have
your
my
allegiance
mother
lie?
go out of her
was a
mental
tough
mind? And when I picked
don't
up
even
the
remember what I
phone to
did.
call the police,
Uh-oh.
That was
Kim
like,
went, "Don't call the police! Don't call the police!" And I was like, "Why? I have no clue where your sister is." I think I do. And so
Perfect timing.
Let me make some phone calls.
this is before cell phones, so you couldn't just
Mother
call.
made the phone
Right?
call,
Exactly.
then talked to Roger, dear,
Oh, Roger.
whose house the party was at.
Think the stories go
and
on?
I saw your
Roger was
dad
an
and
athlete,
Dave
so
was
I
down
knew
there.
him, and I went, Roger, where's my daughter? Don't know.
Who's Roger?
He
It was
was
his-
a
it was his party.
senior.
Oh, it's his party.
Senior.
Oh, okay.
I was a junior.
Don't know. And I went, funny. Kim thinks you know.
Done.
Thanks, you know.
Um,
You will find
okay, don't know.
And actually, he didn't, right?
No, he did.
Oh, okay.
He knew, and he. As I hung up the phone, he got her away home. So he got her
Good
a ride
planning.
home. So she was on her way home.
Well, you weren't the first mother that he had to deal with.
Oh,
He had
Careful.
already, he had already dealt with a few mothers there earlier that morning. He was awake and ready.
Uh-huh.
So I called
I don't think
Roger
that's
a
a good
second
idea.
time, and I said,
Yeah,
Roger,
that's a good way to get
after
scratched.
talking to Kim, I really
I don't think
think you
she's
do
happy.
know where my daughter is. And he said, I think she's standing at your door.
She's fine.
And I
oh.
said, oh, you're right, Roger.
Boy, how
Thank you.
Riley.
Yeah.
All right, down, down,
Riley,
down.
Riley.
No, that's not a good
Sarah. Sarah.
What? Riley, stay.
He
Riley.
instigated.
Riley.
Missed the
Riley.
Sarah, you get the dogs all excited.
Yes.
Okay, let's put the
Riley.
cats out for a while because it's
Oh,
sunny
luckily
out.
Mrs.
and
Blunt
Riley.
here. She can't get
Riley. Riley. No.
I need to stand up, stretch my legs.
Riley thinks it's fun to play with
get out?
cats. He doesn't
I
want to hurt
don't know.
them.
Well, I could get out if worse comes to worse. But
Well, give it a try.
What did you find?
There you go.
I found a cat. Whoa.
A playmate.
Another play toy, yeah.
Okay.
About my
Like
size.
Buddies was a cat.
Yep.
So to him, cats are playmates.
Let me stop.
He's all
That's an
excited.
outstanding.
When you growing up?
I was too young to understand them.
You understand Uncle Prescott?
That's a good story.
Yeah,
The young
yeah,
couple.
Yeah.
yeah. He was.
That's what she always
Yes. No, he was really quite
Riley.
conservative relative to me. As I grew up at his
Because
age.
he was 6 years older than you?
Yes, he was 6 years older. But on the other
That's-
hand, he was
that's
the
a big
first
Yeah.
of the litter.
So growing up, that makes a difference.
Yeah, so he was
Yeah.
more under the family control, much more restrictive.
Which allowed you to be the.
Oh yeah,
Family
I was
party
the
guy.
wild card. I was the wild card. And but in any event, he joined a particular. Well, at that time it was a social group called the Geeks. It was a Greek club, and of course it was strictly for men. Boys, I should say, at that time. They thought they were men. And so it would not be unusual for them to have some of these few wild parties where it wasn't announced, obviously, but, oh, I'm out with the Geeks. Well, the Geek was a large coverage of a gang of unruly characters that just raising hell.
Yeah.
Specifically
Not
what they
the
were
way
doing,
we
I'm
know.
not sure.
Who would have known?
Complete turnaround
On
from
the other
what
hand,
they
it
are
never got
today.
reported in the police reports.
Yeah.
We never heard from the teachers or from any
'Cause they were geeks.
neighborhoods because they were out.
Who knew it was guys?
And now, to show how restrictive my family was, my mother would sit in a window in her favorite chair and she'd look down the street and she could see anyone who would be coming around. Of course, he had the privilege of using the car, and that was a great big bonus. So she was looking for a car coming up the street, looking for Prescott. This would start somewhere around 9, 10 o'clock. Probably his due date was 10 o'clock. So after that, where's Prescott? Where's Prescott? And here's my poor father. Never mind. He'll be along. Then around 11 o'clock, oh my God, where's Prescott? Where's Prescott? And this would go on for, and one time it was 12:15. And he parked the car in the garage, and he came up, and at the foot of the stairs was my mother. And Prescott, where were you? At the Geeks.
At the Geeks.
No explanation.
Did he get punished? Get grounded?
With a car.
With a car.
Yeah, and in those days, that was one heck of a penalty.
Yeah.
One heck of a penalty because, without the wheels, you're nowhere. He had more friends. because he had wheels.
Yeah.
It was an Essex, by the way. But but those were fairly mild, and
he had a paper. Your father had the paper route, and you gave it to. And then,
yeah. My brother had a huge. Well, he kept buying little routes, and to the point that we covered a big portion of West Somerville, and we'd get up 4 o'clock Sunday morning to put the supplements together. You think you get a paper, it's that thick, what's made up of supplements. When they delivered the paper, big, huge 6-wheel trailer truck come down Little Chandler Road. The brakes on, and they throw these things out. My brother and I would be out, winter and summer, and would be putting the stuff along the sidewalk. Boom, 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 bang, until finally we'd get to the point where we're in a position to start delivering them. And he, had a big belt. He had a big belt they put papers in. They used to do in the old days, and I had mine. And that went on for years until my father decided to join the fun. Yeah, he loved it. Yeah, so he'd get up in the morning, that early, and the three of us would go out. But my father had a truck, delivery truck, and that was great. And he took that part near Cambridge. I would, on the other part of Somerville. But we had 4 or 5 fellows working for us. Matter of fact, when my brother left and went to Cordley's and Son, and by that time he was about 19, he gave it to me, which.
So you were about 13 at the time.
Yeah. But of course, my mother was the one who had all the collections coming in. We had books and labels of all the customers, whether they paid this week, that week,
start of the accounting.
Whatnot. And we all had our routes, including my route. But when the money came in, they had to report to my mother in the kitchen on the washing board.
Can you see that with Mom reporting to Mom?
And so
You'd pay.
I remember, Jackie, forget his last name, great guy, but he was kind of, confused sometimes and trying to, did they pay, did they not pay, or they owed last week, did they pay last week and this week? But she was right there, I'm telling you. Then all the money would go into a little canvas bag. Of course, mostly change in small bills in those days, 2 cents for a paper.
Wow.
And so the bag that was hanging there in the kitchen over the mantel was there primarily to pay the newspapers when they came to collect for their bills once a week. And so my mother took care of that. So she really ran the thing for quite a few years. But on the other hand, I was the organizer with the fellows. However, I had one sister, Virginia. Now, she was a great kid, but she knew where the money bag was.
As every good girl does.
After the fact, she tells me years and years later, and not too far back, many years, that, you know, that was the greatest place. You know, she kept her living on that. You know, she wanted a 20 cents, 40 cents, $1. Hey, you know, down there.
I thought that was for
you know,
us.
once my mother had accounted for the money and put it in the bag,
Oh, that was.
that was
Nobody
lost
looked
the
at it
identity.
again.
Yeah, that was it. And so anyway, but it was an interesting. And one of the nice things I think about on the paper route, and my brother, your father, found your father, your grandfather.
Yeah.
You know, we got out and met all kinds of people.
Yeah.
And because we covered so much area in Somerville, there were really high-class parts in Somerville, believe it or not. And they were East Somerville, so on and so forth. But you met them all, and and a lot of Irish. And you know,
That's where you get the Irish accent.
oh,
That's why you
yes,
do it.
indeed. God,
yeah.
oh, you love them. No, you love them.
That's why you can do it so well.
Sure. And so, you know, you met a lot of people, you understood a lot of people, you sort of blended in with them in a way for the moment. And so you got a broad, congenial outlook on life,
Yes,
on
That's
people.
where I think you should live.
And it's great.
Live in New York.
And it's great. And it's great. And so I've always felt that as more of a gift in my coming up as a, you know, teenagers
Yeah.
than actually doing it. But on the other hand, I had my fun too. But it was great.
heard,
It was
yes.
I
great.
got, is Kim awake? It's kind of an interesting thing.
Oh.
It kind of just happened. When I was a kid, my dad still worked, when I was a little kid, my dad still worked for Cordingley.
Mm-hmm.
And
Oh, he did even then when he was.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness,
Yeah.
I didn't realize that long.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
He
It
went
was-
from the
I didn't know it
from
was a-
high school.
Yeah, I didn't realize it was the same company. I knew it was the
yeah,
wool business.
that's how we
but-
met my mother.
Mm.
Yeah,
She
but I
worked
didn't
in
realize
Cordingley.
it was the same
Yep.
company all this time.
Yep.
Yeah, she
And-
worked long time.
Yep. And he used to travel all over the world.
Oh yes, Australia, all over
Well,
the place.
that's what I was going to, Australia. And I remember when I was a kid, this guy, and as a kid, I had no concept of what this meant. None of it. It wasn't until I got older. But he came from Australia to do business with Cordingley.
Mm.
And he stayed in Brooklyn. He stayed with us. And of course, my mother was, you know, she's going to cook dinner and all that kind of stuff. But on the other hand, as a kid, I got to hear this man. The big thing to me was that why was he sleeping and it was daytime?
Yeah.
Oh, because of the other side of the earth.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I mean, I can remember being at the dining room table, and he was like exhausted, and he was just like, you know, really wiped out from the time change, and I'm just sitting on the other side like, what's wrong with him? You know, I couldn't figure out.
Those Australians.
What?
It's just
But his name was Stagg. I remember
Stagg?
that. Stagg. His last name was Stagg.
Oh, his last name?
I
Oh.
guess they called him Stagg. That's all I know.
Who knows why?
But he was a very nice person, and he
yeah.
he had a family, and he told us all about his children, and you know, and all this kind of stuff. So as a little kid, like I said, at the time, it meant nothing to me. But as a little kid, I got to meet this man from the other side of the world and hear his accent and see that he was
Stories.
tired when we were wide awake and
Yeah,
all this stuff. And then, as I got older, our church used to get ministers from Australia.
Oh.
So I was again, you know, influenced with people from Australia. Well, my store is doubling in size. We just moved out of the mall and we increased our size, and then we've just taken over the other side. So EMS is like 3 times the size it was when I worked in the mall.
Yeah, yeah.
And we're having our grand opening December 3rd and 4th. But anyway,
Sounds like a plug
because
to
of
me.
this, we're getting products in that the bigger stores had and we didn't.
Mm.
So I went to a
Timer.
a vendor, a rep, came and kicked off some of the products. One of the products that we're now selling that other stores had last year and we didn't. We had this year. And it was, to me, really cool because it's like, I was experiencing this when I was a little girl in grade school. The company is called Icebreaker. They make clothing from merino wool, which comes from the Southern Alps of New Zealand. The girl who came to represent it was actually from Australia. She had only been in the country for 8 hours.
Wow.
She had the skin. She was exhausted. She had the and pregnant. She was all excited about that.
Yeah.
She's starting to show. She was talking all about the merino and the wool and how great the fabric was.
Wow, it's like full cycle.
I'm sitting there going like,
Yeah.
I cannot deal with this. You know?
Yeah.
And
Holy
she's
cow.
shown us, I've actually still kept it. Where's my pocketbook? I've got the fiber she let us have. I kept it in my pocketbook. And it's like,
Oh.
oh.
Yeah, close to home.
I couldn't believe it. I
Wow.
couldn't. It was like,
Wow.
Like a
what
golden
did
lock
you
of hair.
know? What are you doing?
Yeah. Want someone back home to you.
Oh, gracious.
it was-
Did you tell her? Did you tell her?
No, the only thing I did tell her, she was talking about the sheep, and I said, I grew up with a herd of south dogs, you know?
Yeah.
But that's the only thing I told her. But
She went back, or she going to different stores? Or?
yeah, she's she's nicest girl, woman. But she is in charge of the European or the export part of the product. But she had this nice little laptop slide presentation on the sheep and how they do it, how they get the wool, how they collect the wool, the whole entire thing. And it's like, I grew up with
That's
this.
something.
You
That's
know?
something. Yeah.
Matter of fact, your dad, when he
Oh, wow.
accordingly dropped out,
Oh,
or
nice. I
whatever,
like that. And that's extra battery.
he started a karting
takes both batteries.
outfit
Yeah,
down
this is a
at the
battery.
bottom of the
Right.
street.
Yep.
Last one.
And
Yeah.
he didn't do too well
Yeah, it's
on it
compact.
because
No.
he didn't have enough
Get the
material.
grip. So if you
But,
hold it, do a vertical.
Yeah, that was one of the processing of getting into the
I
wool.
was one of the weights that used to get dropped down in the bag to pack it.
Oh, really? yeah. He had a couple of customers. Yeah, Target, brilliant, whatever.
Yes,
Send it up.
yes.
But
Hey kids, come here.
yeah,
And he had these burlap bags
yeah.
that hung from
Oh,
this like
yeah.
scaffolding thing.
Yeah.
And they had a circular
Right,
aluminum
and it
tubing
makes
that
sense.
got
It's
folded
feeling.
under,
It feels-
and that's
yeah,
how
it
the
feels-
burlap
It's a
bag got
consistent feel. I mean,
thing.
you need to hold it
Yeah.
up,
And then
you can hold like
he'd
this.
get it out of the carding machine,
Yeah.
and there was a ladder,
Strap.
and he'd go up and he'd dump
Right,
it
'cause you
down
got- you
into
can
the
do
burlap
that.
bags.
Yeah.
But he needed
Oh.
these
Yeah.
weights
Yeah, right,
to
right.
jump up and down in the bags to
Yeah.
pack the wool.
Yeah.
And so, boom, Peter and Emily,
How do you do this?
and
you're
you
the
get
jumpers.
wool coming down on you, and you just wanted him to hurry and keep dumping because the more he dumped, the higher up you got, and you got to get out.
Right, that's the idea.
Yes.
Oh,
Child labor laws are not in effect in my father's business.
absolutely. But wool was the thing
Oh,
prior
yeah.
to the war.
Yeah.
It was the thing.
Dude, I'm not ready.
And then after that, when the nylon came in,
Yeah.
that was
Can you
the
see it?
end of
That killed
end
him.
of the wool.
That was his.
Oh,
That was
and
his life.
that was his life.
It was.
Yeah, he just played it.
Yeah.
Yeah. How much pure,
I'm sorry,
110%.
Yes, I can
He was so-
remember that.
so-
He was always going like this.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
and he'd go, oh,
yeah, half
10%,
nylon wool.
that's that,
Yeah.
and he'd do that all
Yeah.
the time.
But it was a career,
Yeah.
and unfortunately, the economy and
Yeah.
the development of other materials. Anyway, hey, that was one hell of a meal.
So we have dessert, punch, coffee.
Oh my God.
Oh.
Very good.
Show everybody how you play with me.
Yeah. That's her
You're scared? Why are you so scared? Why are you so scared?
So my job, maybe see, my job of eggs and years. No, it's not.
Okay, so give it a chance to do it.
Better?
Later.
There's always people around.
I'm not good on the fly.
All these people.
Wait a minute.
I think you are.
It's always good.
Yeah, right.
That's right, clean those ears.
Yeah, she's done. She's like
No?
too many people. Hey, Riley.
No thanks.
Oh, it's so nice. It doesn't enter anything.
I know what Marina feels like.
Oh, all right.
What is it?
I have sweaters
Oh
like it.
my.
Riley.
Yeah.
Riley.
New Hampshire.
Marine
Yeah.
Riley.
I'm the one sticking the fingers in.
Riley.
Riley.
Hey.
Australian
that
wolf.
is-
That's why you put a little rag on that.
No, I don't know.
Is this the first time you've done it?
No. The teacher said nothing about rag.
Okay. There was a little slit there. I thought you might put a little rag in it.
You can, but she said you don't have to.
All right. Put it back together.
I have one more side to. Oh yeah, this one's the dirtiest.
Anything on that stick?
Huh?
No, just plastic.
You're supposed to put a little spit
This is
cloth on there.
plastic.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
you need to have a little rag.
Sarah, treat the things very nicely, please.
You can probably clean it better with a little rag, I think.
Just gentle, gentle.
Oh, of course.
This is a piece.
I'm gonna get back on. Oh, actually, I'm gonna turn it off.
What's the difference?
It's better off.
According to who?
What?
According to who? You
No,
have
it
to
sounds better.
teach. You ready, cameraman?
Number 17, hot cross buns.
It's easy.
Ready? Nice.
Now, how's that different than mine?
That's
my daughter.
I'm Sarah. Sarah.
Can you do it one more time? Do half cross buns.
Yeah, do it one more time. Oh, I didn't hear it. Can you do it without the TV? Just yourself?
Yeah.
Because this is drowning you out.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Well, just put it down. Then. Just put the volume down.
I don't think you need that.
Yeah.
No, you don't.
Oh, duh.
I want to hear her play. I don't want to hear unknown people play.
Yeah.
Yeah, but sort of
Number 17, hot cross buns.
helps them with the beat and bass. Put it down.
Sarah.
I'm doing the second now.
All right. Instrument up, in position. That's what the teacher will say.
Wet your lips.
You know how to play that remote, though, right?
No. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought. So it's, what is it? It's forward and then back, right? That's good. That's good.
It's not gonna lie.
Okay, power.
Now just play do a practice then. Do a warm up then. Do one of your exercises.
Yeah. An exercise?
Uh huh.
One of the easy ones?
Yeah.
It was in the wrong way.
Do you think it plays better without the tug?
No.
Without the little.
Oh, yeah. There.
Yay! What's the next one? Do number 2.
Only number 2 and that's. This is easy.
What's all the
There.
What's the next one?
No, I can't do that one.
All right. Do the next one you know.
Okay.
But she does different ones when she's teaching.
There.
Now play the Star Spangled Banner.
I don't know that one.
Oh.
Just looking. I don't think it's in there.
I don't think
That
so
would be
either.
tough.
Yeah. Try the hot cross buns again. One more time. I want to hear how it sounds.
Hold on, I'm just gonna.
There's no Star Spangled Banner in there.
No, it could be. It could be.
How about the War of 1812?
What?
Dun, 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 dun.
Polly Wolly Doodle?
There you go. Play that one.
No. I don't even know it.
I went down south to see my Sal singing Polly Wolly Doodle all day. My Sal, she is a funny gal
that's
singing Polly Wolly
Crazy
Doodle all
Talk.
day.
Easy tug. I know that one.
I don't. The raining is pouring, the old wind is snoring.
Oh, I know one. Play Sarah Stalls.
No. I don't even know that one.
Oh, yes, you do.
Yeah, you know that one really well. Do the cross buns.
Okay, I'm just seeing if I have the other one.
No, sorry, they don't.
How do you know?
Because he was teasing, okay?
Oh. Anyway, I have it. No, don't have it.
No. He
Okay.
was teasing.
Hot cross buns.
Okay, it's okay. That's what you have to do.
There you go. Yay!
That's as good as I could do it.
That's much better. Much better.
You found the sweet